see the ball if you can.
Nicole's known as one of the hardest hitters in the nation, and there's certainly a demonstration of her skills.
Right. I'll tell you right now, that would leave a 10-foot hole coming out if you hit it square. So Penn State wins game one, 30-20. Head coach Russ Rose making his points now, and the Nittany Lions taking game one by a score of 30-20. So a good start for Penn State. So the Nittany Lions now gather up for game number two. Now, last night against Long Island, that was the one hiccup last night. Yeah, they won it, but game two was not their smoothest game last night.
I think game two, they were careless. Coach Rose wasn't happy with their performance. He felt that they let down on all of their skills, passing, serving, setting, blocking, everything, and they had to regroup and come back out stronger, and I think they did a great job of that in game three last night.
So Hofstra will open up game two. And putting in play is Sarah Lopez, the sophomore out of Prescott Valley, Arizona. Her knuckleball, glass, wall bridge.
Yeah, Roberta Holhouse with a great pass. That allows Alicia Glass to set whoever she wants, and she has a lot of weapons on this team.
Holhouse will open Penn State's service game as Harmado replaces Wallbridge. Holhouse, she served effectively all night at the net. There's Glass, Sawyer, Hodge. Looks like the Big Ten Player of the Year.
She sure does. She can go up and over the block of Hofstra and basically put the ball anywhere she wants to.
2-0 Nittany Lions. Remember, they opened up game one, 6-0. Holhouse, another race.
Coach Rose has Roberta Holhouse as the first server for a number of reasons.
Well, I can give you a few, starting with the number of aces she has tonight. She's been outstanding.
That was her third.
Galinda. At the net, Megan Hodge.
That's a great double block out there by Megan Hodge and Krista Harmado.
4-0 Nittany Lions. Holhouse rears back. Free ball, and Penn State miscommunication.
Huge double block out here on the right side for Hofstra with Megan Hodge and Krista Harmado. Megan Hodge does a great job of getting her hands over the net and not allowing the ball to penetrate.
So Hofstra on the board in game two. Fiddler, Glass, Sawyer, one step closer to 1,000 kills in her career. Cassie will go out. Katie Price will replace her and serve.
It's been a good balance in that position all year, with Kate Price playing back row for Cassie hitting in the front row.
And that is not controlled by Hofstra. Hofstra leads it 6-1. Katie Price is a good example. You know, and I liken this to what Tim Shaw and Paul Pozlozzi did in football. They switched positions to open up for Sean Lee. On this team, Katie Price changed positions, and this team became better.
They certainly did. Katie Price was recruited because she was a great all-around player. Primarily, she was recruited for her ball control, but also her hitting. And then when the need for that to open up another spot took place, she was the unselfish player and went back there and has been making a difference.
Outstanding. Outside, angle, dug out by Holhouse to the floor again, and here comes Hodge. At the net, swing Kalinda. Price can't handle it. And a net violation. Point for Hofstra.
That's a tough thing to see as a coach because Katie Price actually did have a good dig on that ball. Roberta Holhouse was keeping it in play, but a net violation neutralizes all of that.
So here is Agoshi, the junior out of Honolulu. Career high 65 assists last night. Harmado down the line, but wide.
Steve, you'll notice in this game that Agoshi has changed her jersey color. She is now playing the libero position, and they've brought in Lopez, excuse me, to do the setting.
Lopez has a career high of 46 assists in her career. Hodge, big swing. Fawcett comes back in. Let the show begin. Megan Hodge. Dug out by Agoshi. Free ball. Price. Fawcett. Lopez. At the net, Harmado.
Penn State blockers are doing a great job of reading the sets of Hofstra, getting a good double block up there at the net. See here. Great penetration at the net by Krista Armato, adding to the block total for Penn State.
Lopez chooses angle. Free ball now, Hofstra. Lopez, Curley, blocked by Armato. Lopez again outside, blocked by, I think, Fawcett that time.
It was. They'll both get credit for that block, but that was 3 swings in a row that Penn State did not allow to cross the net. Yes, Fawcett definitely. Hands over the net. It's a great block.
Fawcett with 3 blocks to go. The Ray kills. Armato has 7 blocks, Julie. Outside. Big swing there. Glass. Armato. Jump ball, and it's Fawcett, but Fawcett at the net point, Hofstra.
Good play by Nicole to try to come over. It was an aggressive play to keep that ball in play with a good swing. However, she was in the net.
10-4. Look at the kills and blocks for Fawcett tonight. Penn State with a 10-4 lead, game 2. One game, 130-20. Hodge, Glass. Here comes Fawcett. Bye-bye, it went over. Right past the baseline.
Nicole looked like she was trying to turn that ball down the line, Steve. Just went a little long.
Yeah, really one of the few mistakes she has made. Glass, Armato on the short ball. Short set that time.
Krista did a nice job of going up. It was a quick tempo. Hit the ball right off the hands of Curley.
Walbridge for Hull House. Armato will put it in play. Lopez, angle, nice swing.
You'll see how important Agoshi is to that team. She passed that first ball, which allowed Lopez to isolate a hitter on the right side. Great swing.
Well, with Lopez and Agoshi out there, it gives them 2 better ball handlers, 2 better passers. Glass, as Yogi would say, hit it where they ain't.
I think Agoshi got a taste of her own medicine. She's good at tipping the ball into the corner when she's setting for Hofstra, and then she tried to defend that of Alicia Glass.
Yep. Last year, she was the player of the year in the Colonial. Big swing, put away by Rivera, Beverly Rivera. So just like game 1, Penn State builds a lead, and then Hofstra makes a run. Elizabeth Curley, Hull House, Glass, Fawcett runs over.
Penn State ran a nice combination and held 2 of the blockers at the net, with both Cassie Salyer and Melissa running a quick tempo, allowed Nicole to have a lot of room to hit.
13-7. Fawcett, Agoshi, Lopez, Rivera denied by Walbridge and Salyer. Rivera again. There's Fawcett. Now the set by Glass. Here comes Cassie. Rivera. Big swing for Hofstra. 13-8. So Dana Schaefer comes in. Durakis, who changed jersey, she was the libero to open, goes out.
She was. Now she's just playing as a back row specialist or defensive specialist, which means she can only stay in 3 of the rotations.
Salyer. Another big swing. Cassie's 3rd kill.
She's getting ever closer to that 1,000 career kill mark.
998 now?
Yes.
Put in play. Lopez. Rivera. Toward the Nittany line in. Not good. 15-8.
It's a great swing for Cassie. A wide slide. She's one of the best at that set.
So, a timeout called by Hofstra. 15-8, the Nittany Lions leading in game 2. They won game 1 30-20. Back with more of game 2 in a moment on the Penn State Sports Network. Welcome back to Rec Hall. The Nittany Lions leading Hofstra 15-8 in game 2 after taking game 1 30-20. Hull House, Rivera in self-defense, and oh, why not just put it away?
Hull House's serve opens up a lot of action at the net for Krista Armato.
Armato having a big night. 5 kills, 7 blocks. Lopez, Rivera blocked by Armato and Salyer.
That's going to take the block total to Penn State to 12.
Huge number.
Huge number on the night.
Penn State averages 3.6 blocks per game.
They're doubling that right now with about 6 per game. We're only halfway through, so even more.
That serve long, 17-9. Whole house. Glass chooses Sawyer, $9.99.
Again, I think Cassie and Alicia connect very well back there. That's one of Cassie's best swings. She beat the block that time.
Price for Sawyer, as we've seen. That's been the pattern, 18-9. Price. Dug out. Lopez. Free ball. Fiddler. Now there's Hodge. And Dana Schaefer could not handle that one. It is 19-9 when Hofstra won the Colonial. Schaefer was the only sub outside of the libero.
That's impressive. It shows that they've had a lot of success with the group of players on the floor, and that's good. When it's working, Coach Netherby needs to stick with it.
Glass for Hodge. Freshman to freshman, and a point for Penn State.
That's a phrase we've heard a whole lot this year so far.
You got that right. Glass, a good night so far with 17 assists. What she's done, I think, above all, Julie, is she's made very good choices.
She has. I think she's done a great job tonight of spreading out the offense, keeping everything balanced, and that's one of the things that she needs to continue to do as Penn State hopes to continue through this tournament. She doesn't want to let them become predictable in their offense, because as they progress, every team is going to be better down the road.
Well, you see Russ Rose there in his 28th year for the Nittany Lions, trying to get to the Sweet 16 again. He has his team right now up 20-9 over Hofstra. And Lauren Netherby, Fran Kaffler, 25 marvelous years at Hofstra, putting that program on the map.
She sure did. She was one of the most well-known coaches and well-respected coaches. I know that when I was in coaching, she was somebody that was certainly stood out as an example as a female coach, and she stayed involved with the program. Lauren Netherby, I know, is very fortunate and feels fortunate to have taken over a program that was left in such good hands by Fran.
Well, there's Fran right there, 612 career wins. She is 11th on the all-time list of coaching victories. And in an area where you always find the fight to at least carve a niche, that part of the country, Fran Kaffler carved her niche.
She sure did. And Hofstra is keeping it going as they continue to progress through the NCAA tournament.
I'll tell you, they made a nice choice in Lauren Netherby, too. She's done an excellent job in her opening year after spending 1 year as an assistant. 20-9 Nittany Lions, and Katie Price will put it in play. Agoshi, Lopez, there's Holthouse all over the floor. Hodge, Agoshi, and that time Lopez couldn't handle it. Agoshi's pass too deep.
It was a little too tight to the net. She didn't have a chance to get there and save that ball.